and welcome to the Boss Academy for Women Leading in the 6 Steps to Seeing It Through. Today I'm talking about my personal experiences with dealing with each of the 6 steps, and today we're talking about the emotional. So, out of all of the 6 steps, not one really, again, is more important than the other, but the mental and emotional are very important because if they're not intact, you can't use the other 6 steps. If you are emotionally and mentally not in the right place, you may not even be able to roll out of the bed to get to the shower, to get dressed and to look nice and to be visual. You won't have the energy and the know-how and the thought process to go to the gym and to get physical. You're not going to be thinking about your spirituality and how you can use it, whatever your spiritual choice may be, to see that situation through, because your mind is not going to be thinking that. It's only going to be thinking the worst. What else can we say? And verbally, this is the most important thing. If your emotional state and well-being is not in the right place, verbally you're not going to say the right things. And we've already talked about that, about not clapping back inappropriately at the wrong things at the wrong times, or going into gossiping, or going into jumping on the bandwagon and having meetings after the meetings and causing drama. And then becoming, instead of being the person who's bullied, turning around being the bully yourself because you weren't able to manage your emotions. So this is a very serious one of the 6 steps, and it kind of goes along with the mental health part of it. But your emotional well-being is being able to stay positive and be in control of your feelings, regardless of the situation that's going on around you, to come back to like some stability and equilibrium in your life. Even though things are going this, you can kind of see where you need to stay here. You're not going to let something take you to the roof, or you're not going to let something take you up to 6 feet under in the ground. You're going to make sure that you maintain. And so some things that I would like to point out, and I'm literally don't want to forget them, and I want to just literally look down and read them, so excuse me. But being mindful and being present, being able to go and learn new skills, again, being positive, being able to treat others well, be in control of your feelings, being able to be flexible and not break because something's not going your way. It's just all those things are affected by your emotional state. And if you're in a difficult situation at work and it is taking you, and I'm not talking about, I just don't like my job. The people who are listening to this know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a job that is making you question your abilities, making you question your life, that is altering your state because you are now being bullied and you're unhappy, and it's taking you outside of yourself. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about being in hostile work environments. We're talking about in environments where it is a culture to talk down to people. It's a culture to be taking people down or tearing people down to get ahead. We're talking about these environments that some people knew they were getting into and did it anyways. And environments where they didn't have any idea what they were walking into, and it was, they got like, what they say, you just walked into this situation and it was like, you just become shocked. You're just like in a state of shock. You're blindsided. That's the word. You're blindsided. Like, bam, the enemy is here. And you're like, well, like, I didn't sign up for this. And we're going to talk about it in the school too, because sometimes you do sign up for it. You did sign up to get yourself abused because you knew what the situation was before you went into it. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about the situations where you didn't know, and this starts to affect your emotional well-being, which is very, very serious because it will affect everything else if your emotions are not intact. Again, in the video about the mental health, being able to have your resources ready is super important, because when your emotional health starts to dip and your emotional well-being starts to dip, you need someone there who's going to not let you go but so far if you're not able to catch it yourself. And so that's important. If you all of a sudden start not doing things that you used to do, you used to be really interested in working out and going to the gym and doing yoga or whatever. You used to be a very spiritual person in your whatever religion of choice that you have, or whether you have no religion at all, but you were very spiritual, you were very mindful, and all of a sudden these things aren't mattering to you at all anymore. You used to dress up and used to care how you looked, and it was such a big deal, and all of a sudden you just start not being very well taken care of and not taking care of yourself at all. If you what else? Verbal, yeah, again, you start snapping at people and you're not the same nice person you used to be. These are all things that are coming if your emotional health has been challenged. We also just want to close with the fact that, like I said, these are hostile work environments. You can experience emotional abuse on the job. And when it gets to that point, we are, in a legal situation that's beyond what this course talks about. Anything that's dealing with crossing line legal, whether it be sexual harassment, any type of discrimination and things like that, that is where it draws the line. And there's no 6 steps that you're taking. You're not taking 6 steps if somebody is sexually harassing you. No, you're not. Now, after the situation is rectified and you're still on a job, you may need to go through these 6 steps to make sure that you are, keeping yourself together from the trauma that you experienced. But you're not going to think that things are going to go away if somebody's sexually harassing you, if you're being emotionally abused, or somebody's talking and, doing things to make sure that you're not successful and sabotage you in a way that is going to cause detriment to your life and your livelihood. No, that is an immediate going to HR, which is not covered at all in this course. This is for situations where you can't just walk out on. These are situations where you just, don't have it in you, or you don't have a backup plan to be like, well, I'm going to speak up, and no matter what happens, I'm going to win, because if they fire me, I'm going to get a lawyer. That don't happen overnight. Those lawsuits can go on for a year or 2. They can go on for a very long time until your situation is settled. So some people are not able to live that much with that much confidence, or lead their lives with that much confidence at that time. Hopefully one day you will be able to. But overall, the 6 steps is for people who are in an environment that's not pleasant, but not illegal. And that just sucks. I absolutely hate that we even have a space like this, but it is. And that's the part of it that is emotionally traumatizing, because what they're doing is not nice, but it's technically not illegal. And that messes with you. That messes with your mind, and it makes you question things, and it makes you get sad, and you have these frustrations. You don't know who to let them out on. You don't know what to do. So you're up against the wall and you have nowhere to go. So when you see these things happening and you see yourself start to not be in a good emotional state, and your emotions are too high, too low, or absent altogether, you've removed and withdrawn altogether, you don't feel anything, it's time to check in. It's time to get some help. It's time to speak up. It's time to do something about it, because if you don't, the situation is going to get worse. And just like the physical, if you allow these people to continue doing these things that now mess with your emotional health, when you go to the next job, you're going to start questioning yourself. Am I good enough to be here? Should I have done that? Should I have said that? Do they like me? Did I talk too much? You allowing these type of trends to continue on past that one experience. Instead of saying, I had a bad job. I took a bad job. It was the biggest mistake of my life. I'll never do that again. It will linger, and it will trickle into the next job, and it will trickle. And then you now have lowered yourself and your abilities and your confidence because of one thing that happened a long time ago. So again, it is important that you capture yourself, maintain yourself, and don't lose yourself emotionally when you're going through these things, because it's hard to get yourself back, and it's hard to find yourself again once you let the enemy win. So again, keep that battle going, keep fighting. for who you are. And if you have experience with your emotional health being affected by a job situation, please tell me in the comments below. You don't have to say any specific names, as I've never named any company or person that specific other than other YouTubers. Tell me below. I would love to hear about it. I would like you to help someone else who might be in a situation and how you saw yourself through it. So like, comment, and subscribe, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.